What do you make out of where this team is first and foremost right now, Daryl?
Well, much farther ahead than I thought they were going to be. I think in the past we've seen them get off to good starts, but then kind of fade, down the second half of the season. Sometimes injury related, sometimes just for reasons we really couldn't figure out. But this group seems to have kind of a different vibe around it. And you kind of mentioned Kyler Murray a little bit, but I think it exists throughout the entire team. So I think there was a point made that I think is very valid, and maybe is one of the things that we're trying to figure out here is they start this journey for the 2021 season, and that's the fact that Patrick Peterson and Larry Fitzgerald, have moved on, established leaders for that organization for a number of years. It's allowing the younger guys to kind of take ownership of the team now on the offensive side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. The leaders that you brought in the offseason, what Steve Keim did in the offseason, bringing in J.J. Watt, Rodney Hudson, A.J. Green, you're bringing in veteran guys with experiences from their careers, but they're coming in and they're new to the organization as well. So I think there's probably a combined effort of some of the younger guys who have been waiting for that opportunity to become the leaders of the team, kind of paired with the older veteran guys from other teams coming in at the same time. That's allowing a unique chemistry to start to develop. And as you pointed out, we saw that firsthand with Kyler Murray in his production meetings last week. Very different, much more engaging. He usually tended to be kind of brief with his comments, very businesslike, very purposeful. But this past weekend it was very enjoyable. He seemed to be having a little bit of fun, and that happens when you're 3-0 and in a big game on the horizon.
Is this sustainable from what you see? I mean, they're sitting here undefeated as the only last one standing in the NFC, and people are like, Brad, is this real out here?
That's the question. It has not been the last 2 years. And does that mean that this style is not sustainable, or is it just because they're still early on in the process? I think it's probably more that they're still early on in the process. But when you watch, when I watch the offense, and I've talked to some of the guys that defend this offense, and they have the same perspective that it's not always on schedule, that a lot of it is off schedule in the unique skills that Kyler Murray brings to that position of quarterback here in the NFL. Is that sustainable? I don't think that is. When you're not on schedule, and you're not playing from the pocket, or you're not playing intentionally when you've moved the pocket, that it's just kind of an ad lib off schedule style offense, that is really, really hard to continue. But you've got proof in what he's able to do, because he goes back-to-back games at over 80% completion rate. And he was very close to doing a third game, which hasn't been done since 1950. So there's a chemistry between Kyler off schedule and all the skill players that they've been able to grow enough over the years where they know what each other are thinking, and they can actually, make that productive on a consistent basis. That would be my big concern, is the offensive side of the ball, being able to play and be effective off schedule consistently throughout the year. And that's my big question mark. Is this the year that we finally get to see Arizona carry this early quick start, throughout the course of the season?
Good stuff. Great insight as always. Safe travels. Thanks.
You got it. Thanks, Brad.